Hello, today's a big video, all unscripted, so wish me luck. So I have been creating videos on this platform for over 11 years. This year I will have been on this platform for 12 years, and during that time I have had 4 YouTube channels. One is no longer in existence. I have an art channel, a channel about my disorder trichotillomania, and I have a main channel which has just been documenting my life as I've grown up. When I started YouTube, there was no way of monetizing our content. We couldn't profit from our content, and there were no adverts on the site. At the beginning, I used to do these videos after school, at the weekends. It was a hobby. And then around 2008, they introduced the partner program. It was an elite program. It was difficult to get in. Sometimes you had to be invited. I was invited. At 15, I became a member of the YouTube partner program. I've become a partner. Yay, and she cheers. Which was a huge achievement at the time. Being a partner allowed us to monetize our content. We didn't earn that much, we earned pennies. I know for me, it took over a year to generate enough income to even get a check from YouTube. With the money that I've earned on YouTube, I have bought a few little things. This is one of them. So over time, money built up, but it wasn't the focus. I should say there was also a period between 2010 and 2012 where I turned off my monetization. For lots of reasons. When I turned it back on in 2011, I couldn't believe the amount of income that was coming through. So there have been periods where I haven't earned at all. There's been videos that I have not monetized from the very beginning. The first 1 million views on my trichotillomania video, the big one from 9 years ago, were not monetized. I could have earned thousands from that video, and I chose not to. It was astounding that we could earn from what we were doing. It was incredible. By the time I was in college, my income was the equivalent of a part-time job. By the time I was at university, it was the equivalent of a full-time job. From the age of 16 upwards, I've had a variety of part-time and full-time jobs, so I haven't just relied on YouTube for my income, but in terms of the income, it was at that level. It's no longer at that level. After 2015, it's sort of depreciated. There are lots of reasons for this. The platform is now oversaturated, there's too many people on the platform all competing for advertising. We're getting less engagement as a result. Less engagement means less views, means less advertising, less earnings. In addition to the amount of people creating content, the style of content and the frequency of our content has changed drastically to what it was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, myself and others would create 1 video a month, maybe 2 or 3 maximum. Nowadays, there is an expectation of YouTubers to generate content every day or several times a week at least. And the production value is higher. The videos are longer, they're more produced, better cameras, better editing. It's a completely different way of YouTubing to when we were kids. I appreciate I've gone on a big tangent with this, so let's go back to monetization and how that's evolved on the platform. In the last 2 years or so, there's been lots of problems with advertising. The worth of the advertising has gone down. I think it was last year lots of companies pulled out of Google AdSense. So now lots of us don't depend on AdSense. It is a form of income, but it's not something we rely on anymore. For me, it does change every month. It does depend how many videos I upload, how many adverts I put in, but overall, it fluctuates too much to feel secure. And lots of us are worried. For many of us, it sort of feels as though AdSense is dying. We're not dependent on AdSense, but it's just getting to that point where it's not enough. Oh, adblock, that's another thing. The increase in the use of ad blockers. So many people are using adblock now when watching videos, so the adverts don't play, so the creator doesn't earn. Like everybody else, I find adverts infuriating. I hate them. But especially on YouTube, the adverts help the creator continue creating. Even if it's just 1 more penny, it's a penny. The adverts help. Even the people that don't depend on Google AdSense as the primary source of income, it impacts their income. And that can impact a channel, I think. If you do use adblocker, just be cautious when you're using it, or be aware that because you're using it, it's having an impact somewhere else. But I get it, I hate the adverts. But changing topic again, another thing that's changed in the last 2 years is sponsorships. So because the ad revenue is going down, more content creators are swapping to sponsorships. brand deals, collaborations, working with managers, agencies. And that's quite tricky to summarise because the income for those types of collaborations varies from person to person. It varies depending on audience, reach, and when those collaborations are done professionally, when the people genuinely love what they're talking about, what they're being paid to endorse, that's fine. I think the word taint is too strong, but it is influencing the videos from the influencers. It does feel like lots of YouTubers are only doing videos on certain things because they're being paid to do it, as opposed to genuinely loving it. And I find that hard sometimes. I've turned down tens of thousands of pounds worth of potential sponsorships and collaborations because I only want to do things that I believe in. And I always want to do that. I want to be honest, I want to be upfront. But this year has been scary. I mean, the move, that is on my brain. Doing one sponsorship could pay my rent, pay a mortgage for 3-4 months. When those offers come through, of course, they don't come through every week. So I can see why people do it, because they need income. And if it's a way to generate income, that is frustrating sometimes. I know I can make more money if I change who I am and change my content, and I need money. That pressure is quite strong. And it gets so confusing because there's times where I have created videos on events or products like my rebeccabiz, and I've not been paid to talk about them, and yet people think I've been paid. So there's me genuinely talking about a product or something I love, and people assume that I'm lying because they think I'm being paid to talk about it. By the way, I'm not saying that it's wrong to collaborate or that every collaboration is bad or done with the wrong intentions, but I think everything I've just said is worth bearing in mind. Moving on, though, I do know lots of YouTubers who are struggling to do their channels and their full-time work simultaneously. Some are teachers, air stewardesses, work in sales, artists, musicians. Some of us have jobs that we don't share with the internet, so we come across as full-time YouTubers and we're not. I'm keeping my job stuff fairly private right now. Safety is also a concern, but I want to keep them separate. And then because we have to support ourselves in other ways to enable us to create, it impacts our ability to create as much as we could if we were earning from our content like before. Sometimes I have to prioritise my work and life offline in order to pay my bills, which enables me to continue creating my videos for fun in my spare time. So then it becomes a matter of time. Income is not the issue, it's have I got enough time to create stuff? There's so much that goes on behind the scenes of our videos that you might not be aware of. It's not a case of just pumping out a simple video every 3 days. There's email correspondence with hundreds of people a month, there's communication with managers, agencies, representatives for charities and brands. There's preparation, scripting, the filming process, the publishing process, and post-production. And my favourite part of the process, which is engaging with everyone online once you've published the content. Oh yes. Anyway, back to editing. When I make a video, it can be between 10 and 20 minutes long. Every video is different, but the editing process is time-consuming. Even when I work at the speed of lightning, it's a couple of hours. And for people that don't know about the behind the scenes of YouTuber channels and the editing process, sometimes it's easy to miss that. You might not be aware, but lots of YouTubers that you watch hire people to edit their videos for them because they're either doing daily vlogs and they're filming every day and don't have the time to edit, don't want to edit, or can afford to pay an editor to do it for them. I have a few friends that work as YouTube editors. In addition to being YouTubers, they do it like on the side and they're not credited, so people don't know they've edited the videos. Right now I don't edit other YouTubers' videos. I've considered it. I am good at editing. I'm already doing some editing jobs. But that's another element to the behind the scenes that people don't always know about. Boo! So I'm in the middle of the editing process of this video. It's a long video. It just goes on and on and on and on. I just wanted to interject to say that I do edit every single one of my videos and have done for the last 12 years, something like 1,000 to 2,000 videos during that period. There are some times where I work with companies and then I send them drafts of my videos and they approve them before I publish them, but I still edit them. And I love the editing process. I've always loved editing. Sometimes it would be easier if I had my own editor, but I do like the personal aspect to this. It's like editing my own personal diaries. I couldn't let someone else do that. And as I said in 2015, For me, editing is like putting a puzzle together. I have an idea I want to convey and I have to fiddle around with these words until I get an outcome that conveys what I want to say. There's always a moment right near the end of editing where I think to myself, that's it. And I love that moment. I treasure that moment. When that moment happens, I just sit in my chair and go, yes. But yeah, there is so much editing that goes on behind the scenes of every single video. It depends on the content, depends on the content creator, how they talk, where they cut, are they cutting to anything? But moving forwards on the editing front, I'm talking too long about this. I love editing. Trying to bring this to a conclusion, where do we go now? Well, first of all, I'm not going anywhere. I'm continuing to create videos. So don't panic, this is not a goodbye video. Hopefully you've made it this far to know that. Anyone that's left during the video may think I'm going. I'm not going. In terms of the future, I want to create videos for my entire life. For as long as possible anyway. Whether that's on YouTube or other platforms, who knows, but for myself, I always want to create. But I won't deny it's difficult at times. Financially, time-wise, the amount of time I spend on this. Going back a few years to 2014, lots of us started using things like Patreon, like a tipping service for our videos. And in light of the depreciation in the worth of the advertising on YouTube, Patreon and similar sites have become even more vital in the last few years. So I do have a Patreon, and I truly believe that Patreon is one of the only reasons why I'm still able to do this as much as I am. Patreon is another reason why I've been able to buy things in order to help me create content, like the lights and the camera. I don't know how to express the depth of my gratitude. Maybe my smile will show it, I don't know. I'm very, very grateful. I'm not the best at promoting it. I get nervous, embarrassed. I worry about how it comes across. But at the end of the day, it helps me keep doing this. And maybe now you appreciate why so many of us do push our crowdfunding sites like Patreon, because things are changing on this platform. But I do think supporting creators is important. I'm not just talking about myself. So many creators depend on a form of support. This is a general statement, but if you do enjoy watching people's videos, tell them that you like their content. We need to be more of a community and support each other. And comments can go a long way. When I go to my videos, I go straight to the comments. I don't always reply straight away, but that is the thing that I enjoy the most, and have done for years. When you see 10,000 views on a video, that's at least 5,000 people, but you don't know them, there's no interaction, whereas in the comments, there's so much, there's a connection. As a kid, I was fascinated by that. I was talking to people from different countries in the comment sections. Now, we're all doing that, but back then, that was a brand new thing. So yeah, I love comments. Comment. And if you are in a position to financially support, then please do, for myself and for others. This has been an exceptionally long video, and because it's unscripted, I hope it's covered everything that's in my brain. Hi again. I have cut an extensive amount of vlogging out of this video. I have so much more in my brain than what is in the final edit. This just gives a gist of what's in my brain. A few concerns I have. I am more than happy to talk about any of this downstairs below, so please comment. Even if it's off topic from this video, please comment downstairs below. I'd love to talk to you guys. Thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you for all your messages and support, whether it be financial or otherwise online. Right, I'm now gonna go, and I will see you soon. Bye bye everyone.